Have you ever complained about growing more tomatoes? I know I haven't. In this episode, we're going to talk about how to do that. We're going to talk about how to grow about 3 times more tomatoes by just doing a couple simple little tips that are going to take your tomato game to the next level and increase your tomato production threefold. Let's go. First tip I can give you, stake your tomatoes up. Whether it's a determinate or an indeterminate, stake them up. Here's why. When you're staking up your tomatoes, it is going to get them off the ground. See, a tomato growing along the ground, it is going to have so much less airflow than a tomato up off the ground. That airflow is actually incredibly important, and here's why. When your tomato plant is staked up, you're getting it off the ground. Without a stake, it's going to grow along the ground because it's going to get too tall, and then the weight will kind of pull it down. And then the suckers will grow up to the sky, they'll get too tall, and they'll fall down. And it kind of crawls and covers the ground that way. Now, the reason why that's a problem, and why that's a problem for your yields, is because the flowers, the blossoms, as they form, they need to be pollinated. And flowers can actually be pollinated 2 ways. Now, these flowers here, they are a perfect flower. Now, they are either pollinated through an insect or through the wind. Like corn is pollinated through the wind. So it grows up, the wind catches it, wind blows the tassels around, knocks the pollen onto the silks, and you get pollination. These flowers, they need vibration from an insect. And so a bee will come along and bzz, 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 vibrate the flowers, that'll drop pollen down from the male portion into the female portion, pollinating the flower, and you will actually get good fruit set that way. Without an insect, a pollinator, you're going to find that your fruit yields are dramatically lower. And what I have found is that in years where I've neglected to stake my plants up, get them up on a stake, even if they're a determinate, put them in a cage, get them up off the ground. They're up taller, the flowers are more visible. You're going to find that pollinators can access the flowers so much better and more efficiently. And I guarantee you'll find that tomatoes grown on the ground versus anywhere up in the air are going to yield better and give you far more fruit production than ones that are like just sitting right on the ground. Not to mention, side note, not to mention the plants are going to be healthier, which a healthier plant is going to live longer, and a longer lived plant should in theory give you more tomatoes. That's secondary. But from a pollination perspective, you're going to get better pollination on a plant that is upright where the flowers are more visible, because the flowers are yellow for a reason. They need to be seen, because if they're hidden, they're not going to be found, and they're not going to get pollinated, and you're not going to get good fruit set. So get them off the ground. It will dramatically impact how many tomatoes you get, I promise. Second way you can increase your production threefold is by pruning your tomatoes. Now, this is a very widely contested topic, because some people will say, oh, if you let your tomatoes just bush, they'll all produce fruit. All the suckers will produce fruit, and you'll end up with more fruit on net than you would had you pruned. But then you have another side of the camp that will say, well, if you prune, that more energy is going to go into those flowers, and you're going to have better fruit set, and there's more energy being allocated to the fruit. And this is the camp that I tend to hang out in. Now, there's a very important distinction here, and that's pruning when it's an indeterminate. You see, if it's a determinate and it's meant to be bushy, these are all indeterminates here, so they need to be pruned. But if it was meant to be bushy and it was meant to be like a plant that you grow, you get all the fruit at once, it all ripens, and it's all determined, you don't want to prune those. You're going to decrease your fruit yields, so you definitely don't want to prune those. If it's a determinate, don't touch it. Just prune off the lower leaves, get some good airflow, stake it up like we just talked about. You're going to be far better off. But if it's an indeterminate, indeterminates continue to grow all season long. And what I like to do is I like to come in on my indeterminates, and I like to come in and I like to reduce the suckers. The reason why is it allows you to grow a plant up a stake. And when you grow it up a stake, it's going to actually be far more efficient on space, allowing you to grow more plants in less space. So that's one thing. Where you could only grow 1 plant, you can grow 2, maybe even 3 plants. And that's going to obviously increase your yields because you have 3 plants rather than 1. But aside from that, I have found that my plants, if I let them get really bushy, they will produce a ton of side shoots. And those side shoots will not all produce fruit. There's essentially a lot of energy going into producing that side growth that is taking away from the plant growing upward and producing more flowers. And so what we want to do is we want to find the main central leader, this main stem right here. And we want to come in and we want to prune all of that lower growth. I will typically prune leaves up until the first set of flowers. There's our first set of flowers right here. And I will prune all of the growth up until that first set of flowers. After that, I will prune all of the suckers that form in the leaf joint, in the kind of the leaf joint there, the leaf node. I'll prune all those suckers off to make sure that plant continues to grow upright, and produce lots of fruit. And I will find that in a given season, I will grow probably 50 to 60% more tomatoes on a pruned tomato plant than a non-pruned one. The non-pruned looks bushy and beautiful and dense foliage, but that only gets you so far, because then later in the season, all that dense foliage crowds airflow, leads to earlier disease. All that dense foliage crowds flowers, leads to less pollination. All that dense foliage ends up taking energy away from fruit production, which gives us less fruit on net. And so I find by pruning, it does look a little spindlier, but I get a lot more fruit in the long run. The third tip that will greatly increase how much fruit you're going to be growing has to do with how you're fertilizing. Now, this is a tip that we've talked a lot about this year, and one that I kind of regret not talking so much about in years past, because how you fertilize will make such a difference with how much fruit the plant is going to produce. You see, gardeners that feed their tomatoes high nitrogen and a lot of nitrogen will find that their tomatoes will be very bushy and very green, but will not actually produce a lot of fruit. And that's because the plant is not encouraged to produce fruit. The plant needs to actually have kind of a stimulant to actually produce that fruit. And that stimulant is usually caused from stress. As the plant grows, it uses up some of the available nitrogen, some of the available nutrients and space. And as it gets later in the season, it might have a little water stress from it getting hotter and drier. And that can actually trigger on blossoming, because the plant, it needs to produce seed in order to continue its offspring. And in order to produce seed, it has to produce fruit. And so a plant that's very healthy is not encouraged to produce lots of fruit, because it's simply just going to continue to grow. There's no threat. There's no threat to its specific life. So it's going to continue to grow as much as it can until it actually calls to produce fruit, until it's called to produce fruit. And so by fertilizing heavily, you're only going to be doing yourself a disservice, because you're going to be getting a beautiful plant with very little fruit production. And so, this right here, this tomato, it is a indeterminate, and it's going to, we'll be replacing this stake with a 8-foot tall one by the end of summer. This thing's going to be absolutely gigantic. How we tend to fertilize so we don't have that happen, but we still have a nice, healthy, happy plant, is we want the tomato to get 7-8 feet tall, but we want it loaded with fruit. So what we do is we feed it with a slow release, all-purpose fertilizer. We use Trifecta Plus. That's just what we use. Use what you use what you feel comfortable with. And when we fertilize the plant, we fertilize it in the very beginning to encourage it to get growing, build up the plant, and the plant will continue to grow. We don't want it to stop growing. We don't want it to be nutrient deficient. But what we don't want is we don't want to have surplus nutrients to where it has no incentive to put fruit on. And so what we'll do is we'll actually give them that slow release fertilizer that lasts all season and gets the plant nice and healthy, but doesn't discourage fruiting. And that gives us a really healthy, happy plant that can still be 7 to 8 feet tall, but yields a lot. And it's just by being careful of how we're fertilizing and what we're fertilizing with. There's a lot of fertilizers that are very fast acting. They leave the soil quickly and you need to refertilize. Well, if you don't want a nutrient deficiency, you got to use it. But then by default, you're giving them lots of nitrogen and they're growing really fast again. And there's never that reset that kind of just says, okay, you were growing, now I need you to grow, but grow slower and just focus more on fruit production. That's how you're going to increase your fruit yields, is by giving the plant what it needs when it wants it at the right stage, so that it's encouraged to actually put fruit on rather than just more growth. And the final way that you can really increase your fruit production, and we do this when possible because it makes such a big difference, is by hand pollinating. Now, I know this is going to sound absolutely crazy, but when we hand pollinate our tomatoes, we get so much more fruit production. Now, it's not practical to do this on a large scale, but on a small scale, you can absolutely do this, and you can take your fruit production to the next level. You can easily triple the amount of fruit that your plant actually holds by doing hand pollination. It's very simple. Basically, all we need to do is basically pretend like we're a bumblebee, and we do the same thing that the bumblebees do, using the flower and the way that it forms and its anatomy to our advantage to basically get it to set fruit where otherwise it might not, because maybe we have a lack of pollinators. Maybe it's been really cloudy, there aren't a lot out there. Maybe we're in a location where there's aren't a lot of pollinators. And if that's the case, hand pollination, or maybe we're in a greenhouse, right, where there's actually like a barrier, right? This is implemented in greenhouses all the time because of a lack of pollinators. And so by coming in here, we can actually hand pollinate this tomato and encourage it to set fruit 3 times more than it normally would. So we have a flower here. This is known as a truss. So we have an open flower. We have several flowers that are just beginning to open here. And what we want to do is, when these flowers are open, we can actually come in here and we can tap the back side of the flower. If we use 2 fingers and quickly vibrate the truss here, what we're doing is we're essentially shaking pollen from the male portion up above down to the female portion down below. And we are essentially doing what a bumblebee does by coming up and actually, with its legs and wings, vibrating the underside of the flower, dropping that pollen down. We're actually tapping the top and doing the exact same thing. You can take a vibrating toothbrush and sit it on the back of the flower. There are plenty of devices you can actually purchase, but totally not necessary. I've had great success by just doing a little bit of that. 5-10 seconds or so is all you need. And that will, as shocking as it seems, that will actually increase your pollination and fruit set by like 75%. It's really incredible. Last but not least, we always get asked about blossom set spray. This is a spray that actually can encourage the flowers to set fruit. Now, I have used it, and it's hard to say if it works or not. You know, it's one of those things where I've used it and I've also not used it. And it's kind of hard to tell if it's effective or not because it varies. You know, it's hard to say because each tomato is going to be different. Each circumstance is going to be different. You know, I can set up one bed and use that bed as a control and spray, have similar tomatoes in each bed, but each plant is going to be different. Like, how do I know that that bed didn't get more wind blowing on it? Or how do I know that that bed didn't get pollination from pollinators? It's very difficult to control. And so when I have used it, I've had success, but it's one of those circumstances where I can't say definitively if it 100% works or not, but it's definitely worth checking out. They have some blossom set spray you can spray on your tomatoes. Essentially will kind of trick the plant into holding more of its fruit or more of its flowers so that they don't drop off, giving you more fruit set. But some of these tricks I've shown you, just by keeping the plant off the ground, increasing the pollination, pruning that growth out so you actually have more prioritization on what's actually there, doing fertilizing at the right stages, right? Those are all things, even through hand pollination, those are all ways where you can absolutely get more fruit with very little input, very little effort. You can get more fruit. And I think that these are some of the things that I've used the most. I've used lots of other techniques that I don't necessarily think are noteworthy, because my thing is I'd rather give someone the simplest and most effective rather than give you 100 other things that I've tried over the years that may have nominal results. Sometimes it's the most simple things, you guys. And isn't that the truth? Sometimes it's the most simple things. Like, literally, we as gardeners, sometimes we overcomplicate. We step in and we try to pretend like we can control every aspect of our garden and every action we have is going to have a positive input. And a lot of times it's wasted time, it's wasted effort, it's wasted money, and sometimes is quite literally the most overlooked and the simplest things that you can do to increase fruit production. And this is how every year we can end up with just bushels and bushels of tomatoes from our plants, and we don't even need that many plants to get that. It's a ton of fun. I love growing tomatoes. They're some of my favorite, even though they're everybody's favorite. It's a little cliche to say tomatoes are my favorite, but they are my favorite plant to grow in the garden. They're so rewarding, so much fun, so many varieties, and I would encourage you guys to try some of these tips and let me know if they help you in the comments box. I know that they are, very simple, but again, I like to keep things simple. If you want more advanced tips from that, leave a comment in the comments box down below. I know we have a lot of gardeners of different skill levels, right? We have more advanced and beginner, and I'm curious to know if you want to know some more advanced tips. If you want to know more, let me know in the comments box down below. I'd be happy to film more follow-up videos, but the thing that I always worry about is confusing gardeners, messing someone up because I'm too in-depth, because I'm a gardening freak. I spend all my day in the garden, and so I can go as in-depth as you really want me to, but I don't want to throw people off. I don't want to confuse people. So let me know if that'd be something you'd be interested in the comments box down below, and we'll make it happen if you're interested. So as always, I hope you guys learned something. I hope you all learned something new. Grow more tomatoes, keep things simple, and we'll catch you all on the next episode. As always, this is Luke from the MIgardener channel, reminding you to grow bigger. See ya. Bye. Hey, thank you so much for watching today's video. I really appreciate it. If you enjoyed, consider clicking this one. You'll probably enjoy it just as much. I want to thank you for your viewership, because without it, this channel would not be as amazing as it is. Also, if you haven't subscribed, consider subscribing. It's free, and we upload videos every Monday, Wednesday, or Friday. We also have vegetable seeds, fertilizer, or tools. If you need any of those, consider visiting MIgardener.com. Links will be in the description box below. We've got you covered. And as always, we'll see you all in the garden. Take care.